feeling like I'm Akademiks.
For his conduct.
I'll answer that question. God's cologne. You said as much as you've covered this act, why have you never mentioned Jaguar Wright calling this out? By the way, I did watch a video of hers before on live. You then say, act I don't think has been mentioned that she hasn't been sued for defamation. So don't you think that counts for something? It's no longer a conspiracy act. All right. Now, Dame Dash said kind of the same thing, and I reposted that. I'll play what he said, then I'll give you my thoughts on, essentially, what I think. Here we go.
I just wish, to be honest, that the people that are being accused of certain things, they should just step up and be like, yo, they bugging. Man, just dead that shit. Like, this is a very transparent place and world in these days. It's very easy to say that's not true. I wasn't at that party. I didn't do what they said I did. And, I remember when I would ask Jay, yo, well, how come they keep saying we beefing? And how come you don't say nothing about it? He'd be like, oh, I don't want to bring no fuel to it. Nah, that brought all the fuel to it. So being silent is sometimes the loudest thing in the world. So I believe if the things aren't true, because I hear the stuff that Jaguar says, and she be on like 10 toes down, like not allegedly. And I've been sued for not saying allegedly. That's why I got this problem I have now with this judgment. I have been sued for not saying allegedly. So the things she's saying, and she'd be like, no allegedly. Like no Diddy pause, or like, they be like, no allegedly. I would think that they could shut that down. So I'm curious. Now, I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm saying, yo, well, how come when I say the littlest shit, like I got sued again.
Now, I have to agree with him, and I'm going to try to think out loud to try to come up with a reason on why she hasn't been sued if she's not telling the truth. And again, we don't know if she's not telling the truth because a lot of people are saying a lot of her, whether it's predictions or a lot of things she said, seems to hold a little bit of water because over time we're seeing some of that, apparently. And again, I won't say everything because I believe she had said something about Joe Budden, and Joe Budden, categorically said that just wasn't true. Well, a couple things. If we're talking about defamation or we're talking about lawsuits, I would imagine someone would send her a cease and desist, right? Like that would be the first step. Hey, you're lying on me, and you should stop lying on me, or you should issue a retraction and tell the truth, or else I'm going to sue you. Now, the first thing might be, I don't know if Jaguar Wright, we've heard that name a lot. Does Jaguar Wright have a lot of money? Is she wealthy? Does she have a lot of assets? It's, for someone, unless you get like a Cardi B type figure who will sue. And by the way, I don't know if people even look at Jaguar Wright as being more, financially successful than even Natasha K. When you're like Cardi, you got to have a Cardi B type figure to sue somebody who don't have that much money, right? So that's number one. But that might be worth it if that person's muddying your name, right? Like that's going crazy. So I kind of agree with Dame with that. Here's my sneaky suspicion on why I believe if this is true, and maybe she has gotten a lawsuit threat or whatever, she's just kept it quiet. I don't know if she's ever talked about it. I would imagine if they haven't sued Jaguar Wright, like especially like say Jay-Z, I would imagine it would be to say, hey, the moment we send a letter to her or file a lawsuit on her, it's going to put the crosshairs on us. And even if we do believe, or even if she is lying, it might now just encourage other people to start saying whatever, they have now thought about their experiences with us back in the day. So that's the only thing I could be thinking, right?
By that, again, I don't want to get sued, right? Because they take anything, but.
What has Jaguar Wright said recently? Jaguar Wright. Hey, what? She revealed a list of all the celebrities in the Diddy what?
I believe it's on the tapes. I believe Barack Obama got a tape.
Yeah, he playing hide the hot dog.
I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes.
Oh, yeah.
I know Beyonce got a tape.
Yeah, she definitely not saying allegedly. She's just saying it.
I definitely know they probably recycled some old Stevie J and Eve stuff. I know Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown was on one of them tapes.
Jaguar Wright has made explosive allegations against several celebrities, claiming they were involved in disturbing activities linked to Diddy.
Stuff. I know Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown was on one of them tapes. I know Trey Songz has been like a supporting actor in many freak off films. Definitely Usher.
Do you think these tapes will come out?
Usher.
They
Oh
don't
yeah.
come.
I think eventually at some point.
In various interviews, she alleged that high-profile names were connected to Diddy's infamous parties, which she described as exploitative and secretive.
I was gonna say, do you believe B2K is on the tapes?
Oh yeah.
Chris Stokes is on.
I mean, if there's like Chris Stokes is a whole he's fighting, and Chris Stokes is old school industry pedo. Like, and everyone knows that. I never liked him. I always thought
song came on, right? I'll say this, we were in Bishop Arts. One Drake song came on, and then another Drake song came on. And then when it got to the third one, is this a Drake, is this a Drake playlist? Could you turn on something else? And she's like, was there anything else? So we got the Beyonce playlist. Yeah, but it had all of the freak off victims on it. Usher was on, like, we were just sitting up there. Who's the next victim on the playlist? And he, you won't break my soul. You won't break my soul.
Damn. Can we talk? No.
No, it was Confessions. They played Usher Confessions. Confess that Lifetime Achievement Award was a fucking hush payment for your with all of the years of abuse. Cause that wasn't no lifetime. I'm still mad. People say, why are you saying that about Usher?
There has long been speculation about Usher's relationship with Diddy, with some believing that Usher was one of Diddy's victims, having been sent to live with him as a teenager. However, Jaguar Wright presents a different narrative, claiming that Usher is not just a victim, but a cooperating partner. Wright suggests that Usher helped Diddy gain control over Justin Bieber, facilitating Bieber's introduction to Diddy, which led to a 48-hour period where Diddy had influence over the young pop star. Could Usher's involvement with Diddy indicate deeper connections within the industry?
Usher.
They talk about his.
Usher, I'm tired of Usher.
Oh.
Goofy bitch.
Oh.
Got your asshole ripped open and the only thing it inspired was loyalty? They ripped your ass open. Gene didn't say it. He said, check the records at the hospital. I'm saying it. You got your ripped open. Then you take Justin Bieber from Lily White, Canada, and take him to the flavor of Fuck Off, the kiddie edition. Get his ripped open. Now everything's coming out, and the first thing you do is run the Bali with another kiddie rape who works with the man, L.A. Reid, that sent you to the Diddy flavor freak off.
Not the flavor.
Now you got Justin Bieber breaking up relationships and shit. Suck Odell Beckham dick at the club, and the next thing you know, he don't even want Kim no more.
This further complicates Usher's image, portraying him as more of an active participant than a bystander in Diddy's controversial dealings.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. Not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman or say something.
It is kind of alarming that if you J-Lo, would you just shut up or would you be vocal? I think it sounds easy for everybody to say, yo, just speak up, speak up, speak up, right? But then, obviously, I would imagine some people would fit in this category. You want to speak out to say, nigga, I ain't never pimp no hoes, I ain't never get fucked by Diddy. But then, you speaking up for yourself, then somebody else might come out and be like, yeah, nigga, you didn't partake, but you didn't stop it. You saw me coming out that room crying. You saw when they sent in 10 niggas to fuck me. You allowed Diddy to do this shit. You were there. You were his friend. You partied with him. You saw when he fucking was drugging us or whatever the fuck. So I do think it's more complicated than these people like slanging dick with Diddy or Diddy fucking them and whatever the case is. I think some of these people, also don't want to look like they were complicit.
In her defense, to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face like J-Lo has said nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall?
Jaguar Wright has also criticized Jennifer Lopez, accusing her of remaining silent about Diddy despite allegedly knowing about his misdeeds. Wright claims that Lopez had the opportunity to expose Diddy's behavior but chose to stay quiet, fueling speculation about her reasons for protecting him. For years, Jaguar Wright has stood out as one of the few voices in the music industry consistently willing to speak out against powerful figures like Sean Diddy Combs. She has been vocal about the exploitation and corruption she claims runs rampant within the industry.
Now, I gotta admit, it is kind of weird that nobody's fucking sued her. Unless they really think she's that broke. I did see on one of the clips, she had a Cash App link. Like, she had a Cash App link on the screen, but that don't mean you're broke.
Alleging that high-profile figures like Diddy have been involved in dark and unethical practices.
That's why they worked even harder to find a way to silence me. What happens when you're the greatest at the beginning? Nobody wants you to open up for them because you're going to make them look inferior. And you have to be able to headline every show. And if they're keeping your records off of the radio so you can't go number one, so you can't demand marquee player on every tour, then you have to create your own tour. Which means you have to have the independent financing to be able to compete with companies like Rock Nation. See, it's a rat maze. And they have cheese-scented little tokens. Except for when you get there, you realize it's just cheese-scented. It's nothing real. You're not going to eat there. And they send you, and you go for the next little dot, and the next little dot, and the next little dot, and the next little dot. Meanwhile, they already know those doors do not open. That's how it works. Someone like me is a great danger, huge danger, because not only am I outspoken, and not only do I still have the stamina to go at this thing at the rate that I go at it, pushing 50. They're pissed because I won't break. That encourages people to do what? Keep trying. Keep working.
Yeah, of course.
Odell and I are approaching 3 months together. And he went from having a YouTube channel that he had to ask people to go see to now getting comments from a bunch of people he's never met before. He's on thumbnails everywhere. His divorce documents are being discussed. Confidential documents that nobody is supposed to have are now being shared behind members only paywalls on YouTube. Why? What made him pop?